Right, we're diving headfirst in here.
Let's go.
Another episode of Mono y Mono. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Thomas Forbes and Anthony Donegan. Anthony, Limor know you well. We've met in person many times. First time meeting
First
Thomas.
time.
We've communicated via social audio, but never in person. And we are in the heart of Dublin City.
The heart.
You know, these guys are the right guys to know in this part. I feel safe, you know.
You said that before I come in, you never met Shane.
Yeah, but that I suppose that's the amazing thing when you speak to someone, isn't it? Versus email or text, where it feels like
there's no, the awkwardness is gone. We don't have to introduce.
Yeah, it's weird. It is a strange one, you know.
Yeah.
But no, we're here today. It's going to be a mix of things. Like it's the great thing about this, as I say, they're not interviews or conversations. We could end up. We are definitely going to talk about the business, which you guys are up to, your background. We could end up talking about Game of Thrones at some stage. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But what I usually do is anyone who comes on, I just go, give me a little bit about yourselves, coming from you know, because you know yourself best, I suppose.
Absolutely.
So, Thomas.
Yeah, so I'm from where we are now. I'm bang in the middle of the group around here, Perry Street, Dublin City, Dublin 2. I grew up here, born here, raised here. And I guess where we're coming from now is this area is it'll be somewhat a deprived area, lower class area on a scale of lower class, and it was these type of areas. You need to be tough growing up, or else they'll make you tough. The street, like the flats will, you know. We're in the middle of the flats right here, and it's a rootless place to go.
What is this building we're in now?
This is Pierce. So we're in Pierce Street, and this is Pierce Rangers Football Club.
Pierce Rangers.
My father is actually the chairman, so he does a lot of work to try and keep kids off the streets, keep them playing ball, and just something for them to do, because it's very easy to fall into the trap of drugs and crime and just fucking mischief, you know. And I fell into it myself. So I guess coming from this area, I see you get told a lot of stuff that you can't be this, you can't be that. You kind of have a fixed mindset, and someone sort of maps out your life for you, in a sense. The school systems, the police, everyone else that tell you can't be this and you need to go and get a job and do this and that. But for me, I always felt there was more to life. I could give more back, and there was potential I felt I had. There was more to give in this life, and I think that's the case for many people around here, but they just can't see it, they can't believe it. And there's more areas like this all over Dublin. The areas of deprivation and the areas of funny enough, it's gone off the subject here, but self-harm. I was at a self-harm conference in St. Pat's at the start of the year, and the areas of deprivation, they had a map of it, and the areas of deprivation in Dublin were highlighted in blue, and then the most self-harm areas around Dublin were highlighted in blue on a map over, and you could nearly drop one map onto the other and you could see what's going on there, you know what I mean? So it's obviously there's a lack of self-belief in these communities, in these areas where you grow up, and I guess where I'm coming from is I want to change that. I want to help people in these areas know that they have every chance to be what they want to be, as much as someone that comes from a higher class area such as Sandymount or Blackrock or
Dublin.
We get the urge. Listen, he's putting in, you know, there's all I want to talk about. But like we'll get back to it in a second. I know you've had a great thing about bowling is it's not a case of just talking about it, you've actually done it. And you, I know, had a physical body transformation, which we won't dive into it yet, because I know this man's very eager to talk over here, you know. But we'll talk about that in a second. Anthony,
Sure.
go ahead.
So it's been the same thing since the last time we met. I believe it was in the Red Cow, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it's been on there, isn't it?
It's crazy how quickly things go.
So I was still in college, and I finished a personal business and development coaching course, and I suppose I knew the direction, you know, but still piecing together, you know, and where I've been from then to now, I suppose, is my own event, which I've always wanted to do. Me and Tomo are now looking at setting an online subscription service up, which is due to launch the 4th of July.
Right.
We brought Real Talk to the front because we done a show and we walked out on stage with little or no practice, and the dynamic from one of people's opinions, she said, it was off the wall, and that's what brought Real. I think that was for us, or for me anyways, when that was said to us, that's when we said we could work together.
Yeah.
And we some buzz, we walked out, and I remember him before, I was saying to him, Tom was a great voice, you know. I'm a black belt myself. But I goes, why don't you sing, you know? Why don't you have a bit of crack here? Let's make real talk. We're not too serious. Sometimes we come across real serious saying, but what two messers as well, you know, and I was trying to bring this into. So I remember even before I walked out on stage, I was talking to sing, and he said to me right before I walked out, he said, Anton, I'm going to sing. And I said, what? Because we had practiced how I was going to end it, you know, kind of, so thank you for coming, blah, blah, blah. Next of all, he was belting out, right? And that for me, see that performance, I think that was a big change. That was a pivotal point for me, because I said to myself, I think we can work here. Because there's very few people that have a dynamic. We've done a lot of stuff, we've done a lot of workshops in between the last time we met.
Yeah. And just on that, just for people who are listening and haven't heard of your background on things, you had a major change in your own life. You were a military man, Irish Defence Forces, and you felt a calling or a need or something to do, like Thomas would say, I can do so much more, something else for me.
Yeah.
And you made that big leap, leap of faith, like everyone has to do when they want to make a big change.
Yeah.
And you did it, and you got into, what way would you describe it? Like, because you're covering a quarter, you're helping people mentally.
Do you know the way, like my mum said to me the other day, Anthony, and I said, yeah, are you born again? I said, I was born last year, man. So what do you mean? I said, Mum, what does born again mean to you? You know, and the way I look at what I'm saying to myself when I'm doing, like, my line of work now, Shane, is mentoring, you know? Although I've done coaching, I remember my coach actually said to me, Anthony, you're going to be a mentor, you're not a coach, because the coaching style, mentoring, I'm more the people that say, listen, this is what I've done, this can work for you. As coaching, you listen to people, you're sort of pulling words out of their mouth, and they're just telling you stuff and you're feeding it back to them. Whereas mentoring for me, basically saying my work consists of right now, for the clients I do have, is drawing up models for like confidence building, consistency. I've a guy in touch with me about, he's his own business, has lost his spark, which is a huge area. People coming to me saying, I don't know where I'm at. And that's probably actually the biggest area for me. People come to me with business, like I've had a few people that are actually very successful and just say, there's something going on with me right now, I can't piece it. And that's something that I've really found myself being very good at, is focusing on something with just so much of a lens that you look at it and people say, oh shit, I didn't notice that. And that's something I've really become good at, because I've had to take a look at my own life, and I think we all look at stuff from a helicopter point of view. Yeah. You know? And my house in particular made me look at this year. I was like, holy Jesus, let's put some focus. And what happens when you focus on something? You bring your energy to it.
Yeah, and Tom, I think.
I do want to.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard.
You're only Susan if it makes it.
We had Patrick McLaughlin on last week on Mono y Mono, or he's this week's episode actually. And Patrick, great guy, he's male model, blogger. He actually did counselling and stuff like that, but his real passion is the blogging side of stuff. He had to deal with a lot with grief this year. He lost both his parents within a very short 2 or 3 years of it. His father, actually a week after I met him for the first time, his father passed away. But he talked about his thing. I said, Patrick. So Patrick, you know, I think about his name. He's funny, but great guy. He'd be a good guy for you guys to talk to as well. Very interesting fella. And it's one of those things, you know. People think of male model, they think of Zoolander. You know what I mean? He couldn't be further from that. Very deep, very intelligent guy, hard worker, but like you guys in terms of he's an entrepreneur behind it all. Because at the end of the day, you know, he built his brand himself and has led. We were discussing before, it leads to other things. Yeah. And off the back of it, he was saying he got into it originally because he worked at Brown Thomas. And when you're in Brown Thomas, you're expected to dress well. So he dressed well. And then he started researching into dressing well and men's fashion. And then he started taking pictures and talking about what he was doing for his own work. He started doing and following. The Limerick Leader reached out to him, Jesus, would you write about that in the Limerick Leader? So 250,000 readers. Started building his own thing. Then got asked to judge on Miss Ireland, which isn't a bad gig. And now he's actually got the franchise for Limerick to organise the event for Miss Ireland for Limerick, and that domino effect for, you know, being a genuinely nice person, putting
Yeah.
out that right positive energy,
Yeah.
and opens those doors.
It's
To
a lot of attraction almost, isn't it?
lot of attraction.